All right, again, another interesting problem sent to me by one of my friends, and I suggest that you pause the video, look at the screen, and try to understand the question and solve it also. If you cannot solve it, or at least try once on your own, okay? And then only look at the solution that I'm gonna offer you, right? So let's proceed. Solid cylinder. So basically the question is like this: is the cylinder which is submerged in a vessel that contains two immiscible liquids. First one is rho 1 of density, second one is of density rho 2. So the depth of this particular cylinder in the first liquid H is H1, depth in the second one is H2. Imagine that H3 is something that is in the air, correct? And the total height of the cylindrical object is H, capital H, right? And it says that which option is correct. Okay, it's a very simple question actually, right? So this object in this condition, its entire weight is getting supported by the total buoyant force, correct? Total B net, let's call B net, total buoyant force. First, find the total weight. What is the weight of this object? W is, say the weight is mass times gravity, right? What is its mass? Rho times density times volume, correct? So rho times what is its volume? Imagine that this has a cross section area A. Cylinder with the cross section area A and height h has the volume A times h. Correct? That's its weight times g. But then what is B net? Is B1 plus B2 buoyancy offered by the first liquid plus buoyancy offered by the second liquid. What's the buoyancy offered by the first liquid? It's the weight of the liquid displaced. How much weight will be displaced? How much volume would be displaced? The volume of the solid that is submerged in that liquid, which is H1 times buoyancy is going to be rho 1 times the volume, which is A H1, right? That's the mass times gravity, correct? Plus, and then what is the second one, the buoyancy from the second one? It's going to be similar, rho 2 A H2 G, right? So all you have to do is to balance W with B net. In that case, it's going to be rho A H rho A H G is equal to rho 1 H1 plus rho 2 H2 AG, right? So A and AG cancels from both sides. It's gonna be what? Rho times H is rho 1 H1 plus rho 2 H2, correct? But then look carefully about this H in the question. The total height of the object is basically divided into three parts: H1 plus H2 plus H3, right? So H is H1 plus H2 plus H3. So that let's write rho times H1 plus H2 plus H3 is rho 1 H1 plus rho 2 H2. The question is basically about H3, whether H2, H3, in what condition H3 would be 0, in what condition H3 must not be 0, in what condition H3 may not be 0 or may be 0, all of this. So to avoid all the controversies in physics questions, let's just take rho H1 plus rho H2 plus rho H3 is rho 1 H1 plus rho 2 H2. So just keep rho H3 to one side to avoid controversies, and then like rho 1 H1 minus rho H1, okay, and then rho 2 H2, here is rho H2 plus rho 2 H2 minus rho H2. So you can write it as rho H3 is rho 1 minus rho times H1 plus row 2 minus row times h2. Savi? So if h3 has to be 0, if h3 is 0, basically the entire left is 0, right? So basically you can write it as for h3 equals to 0. If h3 must be 0, then this total has to sum up as, the total has to be equal to 0. So it's going to be row 1 minus row times h1 equals to minus row 2 minus row into h2, correct? So in that case, let's have h1 by h2. That will be, so if I take it here, okay, so this part will go here, right, which is minus row 2 minus row divided by row 1 minus row. Okay, in that case, if I take the negative inside the parenthesis and open it, it's going to be row minus row 2 by row 1 minus row, that is h1 by h2. Remember, h1 is positive, h2 is positive, so h1 upon h2 is a positive quantity, correct? That means the left hand side has to be positive. When will it be positive? When either the both numerator and denominator are positive, or both numerator and denominator are negative. So if row minus row 2 is less than 0, that implies what? If row minus row 2 is less than 0, then row is less than row 2. Again, if row 1 minus row is less than 0, that implies what happens? Row 1 minus row is less than 0. Row 1 minus row. So it's going to be row 1 is less than row. That implies it's going to be row 1 less than row 2. That could be one of the solutions. Otherwise, the other one could be row minus row 2 is greater than 0. In that case, what happens? If row is greater than row 2, okay, if row is greater than row 2, imagine, uh, and again, if row is greater than row 2, then row is greater than row 2. Row 1 minus row 2 is greater than 0. Row is greater than row 2. Similarly, row 1 minus row greater than 0. That implies, what does that imply? Row 1 is greater than row. So how is that gonna be? Like row 1 is greater than row is greater than row 2. Isn't it the same? No, it's different. Either row 1 is greater than row 2, or row in these are the two conditions in which this thing could hold. What are the options we have? In conditions, says if row 2 is less than row is less than row 1, if row 2 is less than row 1, if row 2, here we can write it as row 2 is less than row is less than row 1. This is also a condition in which h3 has to be 0, correct? So row 2, first let's go from options. If row is less than row 2 less than, the first option, row less than row 2 less than row 1. So do we have a condition like this? No, we don't have a condition like this, right? So this condition wouldn't work. Would this condition work? If the condition is like, if row is less than row 2 is less than row 1, if row is less than row 2 less than row 1, if row is less than row 2, if row is less than row 2 less than row 1, if row is less than row 2 less than row 1, in this case what will happen to our the fraction? Row is less than row 2, row is less than row 2, so this is going to be negative, and row 1 is basically greater than, so what happens? Row 1 is greater than row, definitely, so this is positive. So h1 by h2 will have an impossible value. Okay, so this condition cannot even hold. Okay, see, if row 2 is less than row 1, h3 must be 0. Row 2 less than row 1, row 2 less than row 2 less than row 1. This is a condition. Yeah, S3 must be 0. This is correct. Let's see the option D. Row 2 row less than row 1, row 2 less than row 1. We have this condition already, right? In this condition, if it is must be non-zero, how could it be? If this is correct, row 2 less than row 1, row 2 less than row 1. So if this is correct, okay, if in that case H3 has to be 0 in the same condition, H3 cannot be 0. So this is wrong. So definitely C is the answer. So this is how you find such the answers to such problems.